Hey, what's up, boxing brothers? Yeah, well, unfortunately, this weekend that is coming up, there aren't many fights to really talk about, but so we're gonna have to wait till the next one. But there is one fight at least, and it is in the actually in UK and Sheffield Arena on Saturday, and it's for the vacant WBC silver light welterweight championship belt. And you know, none other than Jose Zepeda is coming all the way from California to fight for it against the local guy, Dalton Smith. Yeah, Zepeda is coming off an upset loss to Richardson Hitchens in last September. And also before that, in 22, he was knocked out by Regis Prograis in the 11th round in November. Otherwise, it ran pretty well his career. He had the knockout of the year against Ivan Baranchyk in 2020. Only lost one fight before that to Jose Carlos Ramirez. Sorry. So now he's looking to reinvent himself against Dalton Smith. Yeah. So let's see. The fight info here. I mean, to compare these two guys, Dalton Smith is 15-0, so unbeaten. However, he's only got 15 fights. But he's from Sheffield and he's fighting at home, and he's actually, I think, the taller guy, isn't he? Yeah, he is actually, actually, by an inch and a half. He's also a younger guy at 27, by 7 years younger than Zepeda. And Zepeda is a southpaw, however, while Smith is an orthodox fighter, which means right-handed. He fights in a right-handed stance, of course. You know what it means. Yeah, so their knockout percentages are almost identical. Even though it's hard to judge Smith having just had 15 fights, he's got 11 knockouts. But it's a good, still a good record. In his last fight, he also stopped Sam Maxwell, and which was impressive, yeah, in 7 rounds. So that's his only, let's say, bigger victory so far. He's only fought on national level, actually, so far. And Zepeda, of course, has a lot more experience from world-class fights, but he also has more mileage on him. Yeah, so he's got 28 wins, 28 knockouts of 37 wins. And he has been stopped twice, of course. And yeah, just a second, twice. Who else stopped? Oh, I think it was an early, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was just a bogus stoppage. Terry Flanagan, I forgot that fight. 2015, he just got unlucky and suffered a dislocated shoulder, and yeah, Terry Flanagan got off really lucky there. Even worse is that it was for the WBO title at lightweight. But anyway, enough about the past. Yeah, I mean, except for Baranchyk, his other best victories come against Jose Pedraza, Henry Lundy. Well, you can say, even though he was nowhere near his best back then. Josue Vargas, I think that's how it's pronounced. So that's pretty much it. He beat Miguel Zamuli also by TKO. Ahmed Diaz, but yeah, Diaz was also not in his prime back then, 2016, and yeah, he was just a puncher always. Let's face it. So yeah, this can be a tough one because I mean, when it comes to their caliber of you know their worth as fighters, of course, Zepeda looks better. He looks stronger, definitely on paper. But knowing that he has lost a couple of fights rather recently in his last three fights, he lost twice and once by a late knockout. That can put a dent in a fighter, and yeah. So and him fighting in hostile territory might mean that he will have to win by a knockout, and if he fails to do so, and if the fight is close and competitive, especially, then probably Smith will get the decision. Yes. Smith has been cut in fights, yes. Also in the last one against Maxwell, Sam Maxwell, yeah. But yeah, hasn't really been like damaged, really. Yeah, he was also cut against Billy Allington. The fight before that, interesting. So yeah, he just if he gets cut here and Zepeda smells blood, that can go really bad for for Smith. And yeah, I still think Zepeda is just too good for Smith. Should be, yeah. However, I don't know if his performance now will be sufficient to earn him a victory here. Yeah, probably, but it's not that certain, And Smith, I reckon, will be fighting, his heart out in front of the home crowd, and yeah, you got all those factors you must take into account. Yeah, of course. Um, he was really like outboxed. He was taught a lesson in boxing by Richardson Hitchens, obviously. But Smith doesn't appear to be that kind of a slick boxer type. He's more like a rough and tough, brawler, and yeah, obviously, like many other British fighters. Let's face it, there are some slicksters there, but not too many. Never been a tradition there to fight in that manner, like defensively, like because it was, I guess, always seen as undignified for a boxer to fight like that. Whereas in some other countries, you know, some dogs out there rabid, like Japan maybe, or Thailand, or it was not like it was appreciated as an art, and in the United States even. I mean, in the later years anyway. However, in England and Britain in general, the crowd doesn't really love like the slicksters. So yeah, and yeah, mostly it's like you had Kid Galahad, for instance. He's more like in the recent years. However, not that many are still in Britain. Not that many of them dance, to put it that way. They brawl. So yeah, this is going to be a brawl. Make no mistake. And in a gunfight, to put it that way, it's usually the guy who has the bigger gun. That means the guy who hits harder that wins, and who is kind of tougher. But Zepeda being a southpaw, he can catch a non-southpaw by surprise, I guess. Yeah, so he's a dangerous opponent always for orthodox fighters, and yeah, I think he will probably be able to eventually, anyway, stop Dalton Smith. But if not, then it can be interesting, you know. Yeah, it can end in even in a draw. Who knows? Yeah, and if any of them get knocked down, that's gonna be very telling you, very important. Who scores the knockdown and who scores more big punches and who manages to inflict the cut even, you know, unless it's a headbutt, of course, that causes it. So the judges always look at that, you know. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, but still, just I don't know. Even now at 34 and having lost a few fights recently, or a couple of them, Zepeda still just I don't see him losing this fight unless it's by a bad decision, hometown decision, you know. So let's take it this way. I think he will win by a stoppage, like maybe eighth round or something, eighth, ninth round, somewhere in there between the sixth and tenth, probably. Yeah, probably because he will want to to score a stoppage. He will not want to get a decision this time because he had did that against some unknown fighter after he lost to Prograis, you know. So yeah, he will want to impress in order to get another big fight, of course, soon. This year, also probably. So there you have it. That's my prediction. Zepeda will most likely stop Dalton Smith. However, I believe that Dalton Smith can put on quite a fight, probably, yeah, but still, Zepeda is a dangerous puncher, pretty much, and a southpaw, so you gotta take that into account. I see a female fight here between Terry Harper and Sandy Ryan, was it? Yes. Yeah, well, I'd rather not do that one anyway. I don't really like doing female, predictions for female fights. So anyway, that will be all for this time, and I'll be back next week with a better prediction round because then we'll have Sue versus Thurman and a few other exciting, interesting matchups anyway. So take it easy and see you soon. Bye.